All right, we'll go ahead and get started. The session we have now is winning with Sage Manufacturing Distribution. And during the first session this morning, if y'all were there, I gave just a little bit of a preview of what we'd be talking about today. When we say manufacturing distribution, that covers a lot of different things. So today we're going to be concentrating on a couple features and functionality within Sage 100 and manufacturing and distribution. You've seen the housekeeping slide already. I don't need to go into this other than, look, if you do have questions, please put those in the chat. We want to interact and answer any questions that you all may have that comes up during the presentation today. And we've already had a few folks I know win the $25 gift card, so we'll do that again at the end. If you've been on a session already, you've met me again, Jeff Stout, the practice manager at Oasis, and I'm joined today with Jim Wimsatt. Probably many of y'all know Jim. Been around a long time, which basically just means he's old. But Jim is one of our consultants, and we're very happy to have him here and happy to have him show us a little bit today on Sage's production management and inventory requirements planning. And again today, so that what we're gonna go over a little bit is the Sage manufacturing. And we're gonna concentrate on production management, which, as I mentioned in our initial session today, is a replacement to work order in Sage 100. And we're also going to talk a little bit about inventory requirements planning. And Sage has a couple different manufacturing modules. Production management, really for those folks that are doing make to stock, make to promise type manufacturing. There is also operations management that they have, which is a little bit more for the make to order. You may have heard of something called Job Ops in the past with Sage 100. It's been rebranded to operations management. So a couple different manufacturing options that we have with Sage 100, and today we're going to be looking at production management, and again also inventory requirements planning. We're showing this in kind of a manufacturing session, but I do want to reiterate, IRP is not specifically for folks that do manufacturing. So if you do distribution and you need to help manage inventory and manage purchasing of your inventory for supply for customer orders or forecasting or things like that, IRP works in that scenario as well. So we'll see a little bit of that today. Jim will spend a little bit of time showing us both production management and inventory requirements planning. Okay, so that's all I really have to do. I want to go ahead and get this over to Jim so that we can kind of see the meat and potatoes here. So I'm going to stop my share, and Jim, I'll let you share and take over from here.
All right. Okay, hopefully everybody can see my screen. I'm sharing it. Again, Jeff brought up that IRP is a robust scheduling and replenishment application. And I'm going to start with that functionality. Again, it can be used with or without the manufacturing side. This is the IRP, or Inventory Requirements Planning Generation screen. I can choose to create it for inventory items, either stuff that I produce and make or purchase, or for both. I'm going to do both because I've got the manufacturing. My options, I can designate lead times when I don't have a history with a vendor. I can, for my work tickets, for my manufacturing, set a minimum number of days. I can include sales quotes, and I can, in my scheduling of both purchase orders and work tickets, the advanced arrival days. With the version of 2023, they've added the projected demands. You can, if you're getting forecasts from your customers, enter those in, and include that in your scheduling. Also, down here, I can filter out by items, product lines, buyers, and so forth. But right now, I'm just going to generate it for all my orders. I did, prior to this, I created a couple sales orders. It's the same 3 items, different quantities for each, just to facilitate the generation of the IRP. So when looking at this screen, right now I can see that there is no IRP generated. The IRP is a temporary file that's populated that gives you your purchase requirements or recommendations and your work order. So I'm going to generate this, and it's going through reading through my stock levels, my desired stock levels, my open orders, my open work orders to see what needs to be produced or purchased to facilitate my process. So if you look down here, I have production and purchasing. I'm going to start with purchasing. And this is the recommended purchase orders that were generated, again, looking at my reorder methods, quantity on hand. If I go here, this is my item detail. Right now it's recommending 193 items for these batteries be purchased. I can click on this detail button and it gives me the process, the calculations to get to the 193. Okay. So I have 72 and 121. I can put it on hold, or if there's a transaction or a calculation you don't want included in here, you can delete it. I'm going to put it on hold and say, okay. And now the 193 changed to 72. I can change it manually to 75. So when the purchase order is created, it's going to order 75. Okay. I can change this quantity to 2450. Oh, 2450. Okay. I can change the prices. Okay. I'm getting a deal on these, $12.99. Or this one is, I'm getting it for 65 cents rather than 70. Okay. I can, if I wish to make this product rather than buy it, this icon here will move it from a recommended purchase order to a recommended work order for you to manufacture rather than buy. Currently, these are all the recommended purchases. If I go to item purchases, I can see all, and this will show me all the items, and anything that has the yellow icon is a recommended order. From all these items, I can filter by any of these variables. I'm going to select the vendor number, and I'm going to select Minicon. So these are all the products. If you're on your inventory management, your primary vendor, these are all of the items that are designated as Minicon is the primary vendor. And you can see here, I have the 2 recommended items. I can also add additional items. While not recommended, while at this screen, I can add items to be included on the purchase order. To get rid of the filter, I'll just hit the red X up here. These are all the items. I'm going to go items to purchase, and you see now those 10 items are here. Okay. So this is the purchasing screen. I can easily see where my numbers are coming from by looking at the detail. I can move to a work order. Okay. So I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to the production screen. Okay. This is the work ticket screen. So these are recommended work tickets or work orders to be created for manufacturing. Okay. I can go here again and see the detail. But what's even more detail that's provided for the production is maybe to push it in or pull it out. You may have work tickets scheduled that'll look at your demand and say, hey, you need to start this sooner, or you can maybe start it later. And it'll give you those recommendations as well for your work tickets. Okay. Again, I can filter all items just like on the purchasing. I can change the quantity. I can make this 150. I want to produce 150 instead. Okay. So once I've got the decision made on when I'm going to manufacture, I'm going to select create the work tickets. Okay. Didn't plan for that. Let me go back here. And I'm going to clear it and produce it again. Okay. So again, I've generated. I'm going to go to my production. I'm not going to change the quantity. I don't know if I did something incorrectly here, but I'm going to create my work tickets. When it's done, it should tell me that I've created 5 work tickets. The items are up here. And then we'll go look at work ticket entry to confirm that they were created. 5 work tickets have been created. I'm going to close this. Say OK here. Close this. And I'm going to go to work ticket entry. I'm going to go, the last today is June 7th. So the last 5 orders that were created were all from June 7th. Okay. On the work ticket, used to on work orders, you would have to go through and release a work. It was a process, a transaction. You had to update to release the work orders. Now, with the production management, you can release a work order, but just by changing the status. And once you do, if you have auto issue on, it'll generate your issuing of materials and labor automatically with the same options of either manually doing it or backflush, like the work order. I can go here. Now you have a work ticket class for your different types of work orders. The work ticket class can dictate the default settings, how you issue the product, okay? Your accounts, the GL accounts that are used on this type of work ticket. But even the coolest thing is user-defined fields. Per work ticket class, users of the system can easily generate user-defined fields for quality testing, numerous things. And what's so cool about this is you're able to create it as a user. You don't have to get OASIS involved, making custom fields and so forth. This is all very easily user-defined. Okay. I'm going to say accept here and close this. Okay. I'm going to go to an existing work order. Also on the work orders, there's attachments, kind of like memos, but you can actually attach it to objects, files, PDFs. You can have instructions, you can have diagrams and so forth. In this case, I have a photo. I just click on the drill down of the line, and this brings a picture of the PC that's produced. I'm going to close this and say OK. So this is the work ticket entry. This is the items being produced. Here's our yield percentage and so forth. We're going to do manual issue on this one. The next, I go to steps. And steps are planned activities for your production processes, much like the work order. What's different now is you have your statuses. In this case, the statuses are changed at each step level as you complete quantities, okay? So currently the first 3 steps in this template, in this routing, in this scheduled activities are completed, including the quantities. There are 2 of the activities that are currently in production. It appears that there's 1 that hasn't been started yet. But if it has, you could go here and put this in production. So then your managers can visually see where the work tickets are in the production process. Are they on time? Are they ahead? And so forth, okay? If you look over here, these 5 lines here were the 5 UDFs created. So this is where you would assign an update, including quality control on your work tickets. The next tab is materials. And materials can be auto-populated from the bill of materials, or they can be a part of your schedule, of your template. What's really cool, what Sage has done is called dynamic inventory, okay? A couple of things can be done with this. First of all, I'm on an item and I recognize that I don't have any and I need to get it. From this item, I can click on the icon here and create a purchase order automatically for this item. So I can go here and choose a vendor. Look here, and there, it's ordering the 109. I say OK. It tells me that the PO has been created. And if I look here, now the PO number exists. So it automatically generated a PO for you to send to your vendor to meet the requirements for this line. The next big deal about the dynamic inventory is on a work ticket. If you wanted to issue the material before, you would have to go transaction entry, enter the quantities and post them. With the dynamic inventory, I can, at a line on the work order, post the inventory. This automatically assigned the 20, the cost of the 20, but it also reduced my inventory as well. This second line is a lot. So if I go here, I'm going to choose the lot to issue. So I'm pulling 20 from this lot and assigning to the work ticket. From the same material screen, I can go to inventory maintenance and look at this item. And if I go to transactions, here are the 20 that I just issued instantaneously. So it updates the inventory automatically, reduces the quantity on hand. You do have to eventually run a register to post your GL, but the actual on-hand quantities are adjusted as you issue them. Okay, I'm going to say accept here and close this. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead to a couple more. I'm going to save my changes first, and then jump ahead to another work order. It's got a little more detail on it. Okay, so this is the inquiry screen. So we talked about the steps and the materials. This is our schedule. From the inquiry screen, I can see all the activity on the work ticket. The status changes, and you can see where it was changed from new to completed or new to production. Okay. I can look at the materials and see all the material that's been issued on this work ticket, including the last two. Labor. This is all the labor that's been posted to this work ticket. With production management, you can now, as with the work order, post hours to the work ticket at the standard rate, but you can also now link it in with your payroll and actually post actual rates and labor hours to the work tickets. Okay. And then when you post it, it's the dynamic posting and it'll post directly to it. Next is the scheduling. In this case, I chose not to manually schedule. I'm going to let the system schedule it for me. I'm going to select the schedule button. I can forward schedule it, tell it what day I want to start on and tell me when it's done, or I can backward schedule. So I need this by 7/18/2025. Okay. And then I'm going to calculate the schedule, and it tells me that I need to start on it in 12 days to have it done by 7/18. So I'm going to apply this. And then finally, on the work tickets, I can look at the totals. The budgets, especially for your materials, can be set to read standard cost, last cost, or average cost. And as you post items, this is your current, your projected, and then here's your variance. So we've overissued a lot of material and direct cost to this work ticket. I can filter by steps if I want. In this case, it's the complete totals of the work ticket. I'm going to close this and say accept, and I wanted to demonstrate the work center capacity. Right now, Sage provides a scheduling for the work centers, your activities and the steps done at those work centers or manufacturing centers. I'm going to hit refresh and click ahead, and you can quickly see this is the schedule. Sage has yet to develop capacity planning, but it will schedule the workstations and your activities. The blue reached the 100% mark. Anything above that has been overscheduled, but then you can go in and change the scheduling of your steps and so forth to move this scheduled work maybe to the day before when there is no capacity or there's 100% capacity available. I'm going to close this and say okay. And then I'm going to, like all the other modules in Sage, they provide the BIE or Business Insight Explorer. With production management, those items are available now as well. So I can go to open work ticket steps, all the scheduled items, and see and review those. Okay, this is the work ticket themselves. If you've used Business Insights, you can drill into the detail. So I'm drilling into all the steps, and I've created a saved filter called in production. So my filter is telling me everything that is in production. So where is it at? What's being manufactured or what machines? Okay. I can go to my open work tickets, or I'm going to go back. I'm going to look at my line items. My line items are my materials. I can use that same process. I'm going to open a preview, a save preview. My save preview is late items. These are items, and I put a formula over here to tell me any negative numbers are late items. So there's a lot of product that's a couple weeks late. Okay, but that this functionality is now available in your manufacturing to facilitate your processes to stay on top of materials coming in. Are they late? Where are they in the processes, and so forth? So that's all I plan to show you. If you all have any questions, please let us know.
All right, thanks, Jim. I don't see that we have, oh, we did have one question down here from Zach. Jim says, how do you move the scheduled work? I think you mentioned in there moving that.
Okay, you would go into the work ticket itself, choose the work ticket item, and then change the scheduled dates here. You probably manual schedule and then just key those dates in here. Okay. Hopefully that answered your question.
Yep. Okay. How do you know which work tickets are pushing the work center over capacity?
I don't know the answer to that question. I could look that up and get back with you.
Yeah, we'll capture that then, Zach, for you, and make sure we get that answer back out your way. Okay.